are living outside the camp. That's where the issue is.
Okay, Semeka, we'll come back to you. Mr. Gusau, he's painted a picture of a spread of these people. You talked about the fact that many of them that come into Maiduguri live with their relatives and friends. About 100,000 are within the 13 camps. But the others who did not come into Maiduguri probably went into other states.
No, that's...
Some of them from Borno State went into Yobe. I mean, you have neighboring states. Some of them would have gone into the other states. How do you aggregate all of them, collect all of them back together? Even as, because they have been said they have a right, they said they have a right to vote. And you say they've gotten their IDP, their PVCs, even though we'll come to that later. But how would you aggregate all of them to the point of voting?
You see, the issue is that, in my opinion, there are two categories of IDPs. There are those who have recognized themselves as IDPs and have come forward to be registered as IDPs. These are the people the government deals with. Otherwise, without proper documentation, you wouldn't know who is displaced and who is not. You can only be identified as a displaced person if you have brought yourself to be registered as such. So these 1.5 million that I'm talking about are registered IDPs. Now, some of these people, like he talked about, he has a good understanding of the situation, no doubt about it. Some of them are actually even being taken care of by their local government areas. Some of them are actually being supported. And for instance, in Maiduguri, for instance, in December 2014, the governor made a pronouncement directing the State Emergency Management Agency to place public announcement inviting anybody that is taking care of refugees displaced from these local government areas in his house to come forward and get government support. A lot of people came forward. In addition to that, the governor directed the State Emergency Management Agency to go around various communities, identifying these houses and taking support to them. And so far, he has launched what we call Free Food for All campaign in Borno State. Channels has also reported some of these campaigns. We are now at the 39th level. The campaign
39th of how many?
39th level of the campaign.
Now the campaign 39 times of carrying
39 times of carrying out the campaign. What I'm trying to say, I'm talking about a ceremonial campaign now, where the governor or the deputy governor comes in, apart from the routine the distribution that the State Emergency Management Agency does every now and then. We are talking about the agency identifying a convergence point where the governor comes, the entire people of that community come, and there's a proper launching of that to make some little noise about it, to mobilize people to come and benefit from it. That is the extent the state government, has gone. Because the truth of the matter is that the economy of Borno State has seriously been affected by the Boko Haram insurgency. A lot of people, you must have read, have lost their means of livelihood. They simply cannot survive taking care of these displaced persons on their own. So, and that's why the governor directed all the local government chairmen to go and even live in camps. These 13 camps that I'm talking about, of these 100,000 people, chairmen of local government area have been mandated by the governor to go and live with them, to feel what they are feeling, to know their problems and get back to them. That is what happens in Borno State.
So the chairmen of the local government are living in the camp? Yes, they live
with them. The governor has directed them. This is more than about 6 months now. He said, look, I don't want to see you, since you cannot go back to your local government area to go and stay because the local government areas have been occupied by Boko Haram. You have nothing doing on the streets. These are people from your local government area who are displaced. Go and live with them, feel what they are feeling, so that you know the problems. And that's why if you go to Maiduguri, for instance, today, and drives around places like the place we call Teachers Village, which has about 300 houses that the government is building for teachers. You go to 400 housing units. These are places where IDPs are. You wouldn't know there are IDPs unless you are told, because you would not see an IDP on the streets. The local government chairmen live with them. They take care of their needs. You understand what I'm talking about? Whatever happens there, they get to the governor. There are clinics established in this camp. There are security men. There are ID cards for all displaced persons. There is a proper coordination of these displaced persons. Now, the other 1.3 or 1.4 that I talked about who live in this, they have chosen that, look, we've got relations. Because, of course, somebody that has undergone a trauma such as an occupation by Boko Haram, who might have lost parents, children, brothers, houses, and what have you, is traumatized. And of course, we know that the healing process for a traumatized person is also relating with somebody he knows. Being with somebody you know is part of the healing process. And that is why it is a way of speeding up the psychosocial treatment that the government says, look, if you want to live with somebody, you're absolutely sure that, yeah, this person is your relation, you are safe there, so be it. But give us the name of that person so that we can be offering some sort of support to that person, because the person is taking a responsibility that is already beyond him. It's an additional responsibility. So that is what the government does.
Now, Mr. Olisameka, what are the challenges that you all face working with IDPs?
Okay. Thank you very much, Alero. I want to first, should I use the word correcting an impression my brother made there? You see, I don't want us to try to change the definition of IDPs. An internally displaced person is someone who have been forced out of his residence or place of abode or his home by UN Kampala Protocol. The definition is clear. Anyone who has been forced either by conflict, either by natural disaster, or by armed conflict, or by human rights or abuse and all that, that person is an IDP. It does not matter whether the person lives in the camp. It does not matter whether the person lives in an uncompleted building. It does not matter whether the person is living with friends and family. The person has become displaced. So we must clearly define what an IDP is. And we must also accept that there has been systemic failure, and both at the state, local government, and of course at the federal level through the agencies that are saddled with responsibilities. Now, back to the question on the challenges we face. Now, one of the major challenges we are facing working with IDP is that, one, majorly, these IDP issues is unfortunate that it's happening at the time of election and electioneering, because a lot of all the political parties are playing politics with the IDPs. All the contestants at the state government, the federal government, whoever, they're all playing politics with the IDP. So no one is ready to do the right thing. That's why we are where we are today. So the issue for us, what we believe is that a government agency, whoever, whether it's NEMA or Refugee Commission, whether they are, whoever is going to take charge, should take charge. But what we are interested in is that one organization as a government agency should be able to, galvanize all other organizations working with the IDPs so that we can work seamlessly and have a symbiotic approach to solving this IDP issue. The major issue we have is that there is no coordination. So in particular location, you have one organization come in and take care of probably psychosocial issue of the IDP people. Then tomorrow, another organization comes with the same issue, the same intervention, because there is no coordination. Most often, you see 2, 3, 4, 5 organizations working across, at cross purposes. Instead of us sitting down to, work together, understand what this other organization is doing, or what this other organization is doing, so that one organization can take care of one issue, another organization can take care of one issue, and at the end of the day, we are able to solve, if not all the problems of the IDP, but we'll solve at least to a very large extent most of the issues of the IDPs. Today, we have the Victim Support Fund. We don't know what is happening to the Victim Support Fund. We heard the other time that the National Security at Office of National Security Advisor, they release some funds to certain NGOs and organizations that we don't even know where they are or who they are and where they belong. But these funds have been released. They've spent these monies, but he never got the IDPs. So it's something where you see, it's like a vicious cycle. That's why I say that the major challenge we have is that everyone is playing politics with the issue of the IDP, including the Borno state government, including the Adamawa state government, including the Yobe state government. Every one of them, they are